I guess why it matters for many people, it doesn't mean all people, but I guess why it matters, I'm just thinking why. I think for many people what I hear is it gives an explanation of what's going on. I think that the worst thing is that when you've lived a really good life and people feel that they're very good people, and then the shit hits the fan and goes, you know, to be graphic. You don't see your part in it, in that you don't see that somehow you've been throwing the shit on the fan, the caca, and that you are now reaching over and switching on the fan. You think, it's not fair. I've been a good person. And then those people can become quite bitter and resentful against things that are happening to them, because they've got this projection, I'm a really good person. But then if we analyze, well, what do you mean by that? Do you mean you've never done anything negative? You never have negative thoughts? Blah, blah, blah. And they say, oh yeah, of course I do. But that's normal, isn't it? Daydreaming about stringing the boss up by the fingernails and, you know, doing terrible things to him when he's said terrible things to you, and you feel, I have to stay here because I need this job for my children, doesn't stop you from having very negative thoughts. And in Buddhism it says, even the thoughts are very important, not just the actions. So then I think people want to know, why am I experiencing this? And once we understand that it's not just about the gross, what we see, the actions of the body, the actions of speech, but beyond or before that, the underlying part is the mind itself. And Buddhism gives a very, I think, very clear understanding of it's coming from the mind, from the thoughts, and then it produces words and physical actions. And I think once you understand this, then you think, so okay, if it's coming from the thoughts, where do the thoughts come from? That's what we want to know, isn't it? So where do the thoughts come from? I've decided I'm a good person and I don't want negative thoughts, but negative thoughts are coming up. Why? Where are they coming from? Because I don't feel it's me, my thoughts, but having negative thoughts. So then where does that come from? So I think this idea of relationship between the past into the present, into the future, that we're this continuum of good, bad, indifferent thoughts, actions, speech, and we are now the accumulation of all of that. And are we completely happy? Is everything okay? And I think everybody say, there's some things I'd like to change. So, what would you like to change? Well, I don't like experiencing, say, anger towards me, or resentment towards me, or jealousy towards me. So where do you think that comes from? Do you think it comes from the outside, from only them? Or do you think you have something to do with it? Do you think there's a relationship between you and your world and what you're experiencing? And most people say, yeah, I think there is that relationship. It's not just them. So then Buddhism gives a very good explanation of the mind, the seeds, and the conditions, and it all coming together and producing what you think of as your world.